People ask me every day, what would you rather be, blind, hearing impaired, or in a wheelchair? In my opinion, mobility is the most important thing for me. I can't read a book. I cannot drive. But there are a lot of things that I do with my disabilities that other people don't even attempt to do. I'm a certified scuba diver. I also have my hunting license. I've attempted many things. There's a lot of people I've beaten at pool. It's really funny when I have my guide dog with me attached to the leg of the table, and they go, that blind guy could beat you at pool, you're so bad, and I have beaten people at pool. But you know what? It all comes down to choices. If you choose to believe, you will achieve. If you achieve, you'll succeed. And somebody once told me, you don't have to have sight to have a vision. So if you see yourself and you visualize yourself as being a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, a social worker, a mechanic, a baker,
A child and youth worker.
If you truly want to do this, you can do it. Sometimes it takes a little harder. Some people, like myself, live with a learning disability. But I've now just finished my first book. I've done a book about riding the bike across the country. I took over with my wife and I, we've taken over 5,000 photos of our great country. You do not realize how big the country is until you pedal for 87 days. It took us almost 2 weeks to go up the Rockies and took like 10 minutes to go down the Rockies. And we went over 100 kilometers an hour on a pedal bike. So you know, if you set your goals high, you will achieve them. You just have to be willing to work at it and ask for help. The secret in life is not to be afraid to ask for help. My favorite thing I've done with running marathons, I'll just grab my marathon medals. I didn't bring them all. I just bought my favorite ones. There's Boston, Cincinnati, Hawaii. This tiny little piece of tin was supposed to be, this was my personal best medal. This was the medal they gave me when I ran Massey, and it was a really funny day because my goal was I trained really hard this year to run it under 4 hours. And it takes a lot of work and a lot of hardship to get to that point in your life that you can go under when you're somebody my size. My first half was under 2 hours. My second half, my guide got sick. I had to walk for 20 minutes. So I knew that 20 minutes of walking would not get me my goal, but I did get a personal best by 17 minutes. And when I finished, I thought I was getting this really beautiful hand-carved slice of wood from a tree, and that's what they gave me. And as they put it around my neck, it flew away. I was like, that's it! I was so disappointed. The one with the shells is Hawaii. Disney World, I saw Disney World's new medal on the weekend. I was at the Outdoor Adventures Room set up with my team, and the new Disney World medal is really exciting. It's really something. New York, I have 5 New Yorks. This will be my 6th New York this year. I have 3 Bostons. There's a lot of people. I'm very fortunate. I get to run Boston through the blind division because I am legally blind. I'll tell you a little bit about my sight. I have 1 nearsighted eye. I have 1 farsighted eye. I have no depth perception. Depth perception means the distance that you judge in front of you. When I look at the world, I see it flat. When I look at you sitting there, I see no depth on you. I just see you like you're like a picture to me. That's why I need guides. That's why I use my cane. If I didn't have guides running, I would trip over things. I use dogs because they stop me safe at every curve going up and every curve going down, and they walk a lot faster than people, and they never ask me for a break. Gwyn, Locken, and Frank have been so dedicated. I've got 22 years of spending time with dogs, and I'll tell you, they're amazing. People forget that you're blind. I've actually run a 4.5-hour, 4:35 marathon with somebody, finished the race, crossed the finish line, did my happy dance, and then the person walked away and I walked into a pool. So you know it happens. Here are my medals if you want to check them out. Does anybody have any questions? Do we have any questions in the crowd? No? Go ahead.
Are those pictures red?
The deer pictures are shot in 3 different locations. Guelph, Parry Sound, and some near Brandon. I use a camera to see because the macro depth the macro depth for close-up vision lets me see things. It's really exciting when I take my macro lens and I get to take pictures of insects. When I was a little boy, I always liked to look at insects, but I really couldn't see them. And I was one of those guys that tried to look at them with magnifying glasses. and I'd always sometimes burn them because the sun would go through and it was not a good thing. So, but now that I have my telephoto lenses, and I have binocular glasses, and I have a camera, I now have a digital camera, I can capture it, and I show my pictures to people, and people can't believe that I can see this stuff. You know the problem with the world is, the most valuable thing on the planet is time. We only have so much of it. If people in this world knew when you were leaving, you would slow down and appreciate it a lot more, right? And I take the time to take a camera and really stop and appreciate nature and our great country. I'm proud to say I was one of the people, I got to see Terry Fox live, run by me. We did part of his route. I stopped at the Terry Fox Monument. It's a if you ever get the chance in Thunder Bay to go where his monument is, it's spectacular. I stopped where he stopped, and I went up and down the hills that he went up and down. And you don't realize, oh, there's somebody calling to make a donation to the foundation. Love it when the phone rings. Anyways, I apologize for the ringing. Does anybody have any questions? No questions? Oh, go ahead.
I'm a little confused, so like you can see me, but I'm
In front of your face and trying to look through them. So if you went like this with your hands and went like this is what I see. You can actually, there are people who know me really well, can give me the finger right here, and I can't see it. Because I have no peripheral. So when I'm running a marathon, it's actually like having these two runners that are sitting beside me. They run right here. And what they're actually doing is they're running as my guides. And while somebody like David and I run, David's running with me in New York, and he'll run in front of me. So I actually run like, we sometimes kid about it, it's like the presidential formation, and I'm protected in the center, and I'll have on my back, blind guy running. And on the backs of my guides, it'll say guide. If you guys volunteer at the St. Patrick's Day Achilles race, you will see that there are blind people out there that run that have no sight at all. And with only having 6% sight, I realize how fortunate I am, because you can't imagine what it would be like going through life with no sight at all. Because if you're born that way, it's different. If you have sight and you lose your sight, it's a different thing, because you know when a truck slams on its brakes, you know how big that truck is. But if you're born blind, you don't know how big a truck is. I actually spent some time with a young boy who's totally blind, autistic, and Tourette's.